Hello everybody. Today we're going to do Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. This is another set that's a gift with purchase, so I do not believe that this is commercially available, although I'm fairly certain there's other lightsabers out there. Anyway, I've had this for maybe a couple of years now, and figured it would be a really good display piece, so let's build that today. I've already taken all the pieces out of the bags just to jump ahead a little bit. Like in a previous video that I've done, the Tatooine homestead build, I'd mentioned there's always a certain amount of leftover pieces when you finish a set. So I'm going to try guessing how many pieces are left over on this one. Based on my experience in the homestead video, I'm going to hopefully get a closer estimate this time. So this set has 173 pieces total. My calculations before were 10% seemed a bit high, so 10% would be 17, but I was surprised by how many were in the Tatooine homestead set. So I'm actually going to say 16 extra pieces out of this one. Actually, no, I'm going to change that. 14. So we'll see how close I am to my prediction once we're done. Very small instruction booklet. Oh, I'll just go ahead and mention this. I very much like, mentioned it before, printed elements. Much better than stickers. Love it. Okay, I'm going to make a spot in the middle here for me to work on. 6, 8, that's a 10, 2, 4, 6, it's a 10. This first part of the build is just doing the stand that the lightsaber sits on, so this should be quite quick. Might just skip this ahead. Looks like another 10. Get some of these bigger pieces out of the way. It's quite obvious what these are going to be used for. That's the hilt. I think I've seen Yoda's lightsaber as also a gift with purchase, which I don't have. I'm not sure if there's any other types that exist. I'm sure there is, but I'm sure there's some custom builds too that people have done. Stand is fairly simple construction. Well, that was pretty quick for the stand. Simple but functional. Start the hilt construction. It's because of all these tiny blue pieces that I guessed about 14 extra pieces. The more smaller number of pieces there are, the more likely that there's going to be a higher count of leftover pieces. These round or half circle or quarter circle smooth elements are great for this kind of thing. So these blue Technic studs are great for exactly what they're being used for here. It's a way to attach an element on the side of a piece and have it still sit flush to the piece when the build is done. Gotta make sure I line these up correctly. They're in a particular sequence. Good thing about a smaller set like this is no trouble finding any of the pieces on the table. You can just easily see them all spread out. Makes for a nice quick build. Bit of repetition, of course, in a set like this makes me feel like I missed a step, but well, these upper parts rotate, so if I get it wrong, I can always fix it. One yellow element in this whole thing. This goes on the bottom, then this goes, so here's a way of connecting. This is the underside of a Lego brick. This is the top with the studs on it, but we want the studs to be on the bottom here, so by using this Technic pin, it allows these two parts to be connected and still have it with the studs on the outside. Right, so now there's a picture in the book here showing these red dashed lines are used to tell you how to align certain elements together. So if I match the picture here, I lost track of what's the bottom, what's the top now. This is the bottom. So we want two studs to be, and then those two studs. Okay, that looks correct. Now we put on our side pieces. First we put them on here. So we make 8, put that aside for a minute. 8 identical pieces. So if you're new to the channel, thank you for watching. I'm still very new at this. This is, I believe, video number 4 or 5 that I have done. I learn a little bit each time. I finally figured out how to correct my light on my camera to keep it from auto-correcting. That took me a while to figure out. So now it should be a nice uniform light throughout the whole video. I like this build already. It's quite simple, but it's effective. Once all these side parts are on, it already is starting to look like a hilt with a grippable handle. And it's actually, once it's all connected, it's quite sturdy. One of those in there. Okay, dark one. A light one on top. That goes there's Technic pins, except they're gray instead of blue. Now, These Technic pins are also used when you have a larger assembly where one part's stacked on another. They're used to provide a nice solid connection between all the elements so that if you were to hit the sideways, it just wouldn't break apart. But it also means when you do go to take this apart, sometimes getting these long Technic pins out is very troublesome because they have good gripping power. Also, we do have some clear elements here that kind of look like a glowing light, but it's not going to extend, it's just going to be retracted. Four of these curved pieces. Two of these bigger clamshell pieces. Put another pin down the middle. And one more level to go. Four of these. Again, my Technic pin looks like it's sticking up a little bit too high, but it definitely doesn't look like that in the picture. But again, it'll get buried into this piece here, so I won't worry about it. Just the picture in the book, in the instruction book, doesn't quite match exactly what the assembled piece looks like, especially with regards to where these pins stick up. Which I don't like, because it makes me feel like I've made a mistake. Because here in the book, and I'll show you. In the book, it's hard to tell, but it's flush with the top. And here it's clearly sticking up. But luckily, with this piece, it'll fit right in the middle hole there, so it will go away, or won't be a concern. For this piece, I haven't quite seen this element before. It's kind of a weird shape to it. This gets affixed with this ball shape, smooth Technic pin, so I'll put that right in there. And then that slides in there, allows that to rotate. That must be, I'm not sure what that button would be on the lightsaber. I'm not too familiar with my Star Wars lightsabers. I'll lay that down. And that goes on either side of this piece I just put on. One, two. Starting to think I overestimated the number of leftover pieces. But we won't know till I'm finished. One. I'm running out of room on the camera here. Height-wise. 2. And one of these goes in here. And then one of these goes on the top. Right, we need 2 of these assemblies. That goes on the other side up here. There. And there. One more of these in the middle. And then last 2 big curved pieces on the outside. So those clear blue elements are completely buried in the middle here. You'll never see them in the final display. And one with a hole in it goes on the top. A little more complicated build toward the top of this piece. There's some fairly major components left over. I'm wondering where this is going to go. Oh, there it is, right on the next page. Okay. So this goes like this. Okay. I kind of see what's going on there. Gives it some dimensionality. What's going on here? Oh, this is the other end. Okay, I'm like, none of this has anywhere to attach. It's because it's on the other side. Goes on the top. Not the most complicated build, but complicated enough to stump me a couple times. Mind you, that's not saying much. I get stumped quite easily with doing this kind of stuff. I think that's it. Oh, one last part. Oh, the little ring for attaching to your belt. That goes right here. It doesn't really matter which way this goes on the display. There we go. Get that out of the way. Count the pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 7. So I was a little high. I said 14, so twice as many. Nice little set. Displays nicely. I'm sure if I were to go to the Star Wars films and take a look at some of the more obvious features, like the button for turning it on, or the switch for turning it on, and some of the other features here are kind of replicate what's actually in the movies. Sturdy enough to hang on to. This bottom portion does rotate a little bit, so I wouldn't really grip it too strongly. And obviously not, well, I don't know, is this, I think it's a little bit smaller than what it would be in real life. We're talking movies here. In both the diameter and the length. I think the real one would be a little bit bigger than this. I can't quite get 2 hands wrapped around, and often in the movies you see them two hand wielding these things. But still, I like it. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this one. There wasn't too many comments on building techniques for this one, just a plain simple build, but an enjoyable one. Thanks for watching.